Drew was a cool cat in his own right, a delivery man who navigated the city's bustling streets with ease. He had always been scrupulous when it came to his job, meticulously tracking every mile he drove and every expense he incurred. The recent upheaval in his life had been strenuous, to say the least, as prices soared and gas became a luxury. But Drew persevered, determined to make ends meet. One day, after completing a round of deliveries, Drew decided to call the office to discuss the possibility of getting reimbursed for the mounting expenses he'd been shouldering. He needed to tighten his belt a bit, and every penny counted. Steph, the diligent accounting officer, answered the phone. "Hey Steph," Drew began. "I've been keeping track of all the expenses for gas, maintenance, and so on. Do you think there's any way I can get reimbursed for them?" Steph, always assiduous in her work, paused for a moment before responding. "Drew, your request is perfectly valid. However, it would be best if you came by the office so we can go through the expenses together. We want to make sure everything is in order." Drew sighed, realizing that a trip to the office would mean a bit of a roundabout detour in his already busy day. "All right," he agreed. "I'll drop off the receipts and paperwork tomorrow morning." The next day, Drew made the trek to the office, bracing himself for what he thought would be a long and bureaucratic process. As he handed over his meticulously kept records to Steph, he couldn't help but feel a bit apprehensive. Steph, on the other hand, was thoroughly impressed by Drew's assiduous record-keeping. She went through the expenses, cross-referencing each receipt with Drew's notes. After a while, she smiled and said, "Drew, everything looks in order. You'll be reimbursed for these expenses." Drew couldn't help but feel a sense of relief wash over him. It was a weight off his shoulders, knowing that his hard work and diligence had paid off. "Thank you, Steph," he said sincerely. But Steph had one more surprise up her sleeve. She reached into her drawer and pulled out a small gift, a token of appreciation for Drew's dedication. "And because you've been such a trooper during this upheaval," she said with a wink, "here's a little something extra for you." Drew was genuinely touched by the gesture. He left the office not only with the reimbursement he had hoped for but also with a smile on his face, feeling appreciated and valued by his colleagues. As he drove away, he couldn't help but think that sometimes, even in the midst of strenuous times, there were unexpected moments of kindness and recognition that could obliterate the stress and uncertainty of everyday life.